Thanks for joining us today for 4 easy meals in minutes. Today we're going to start with some chicken breasts, some barbecued chicken breasts. This recipe is real easy to do. We're going to use a Stubbs barbecue marinade, and we're going to use Mrs. Renfro's chipotle and corn salsa. Picked out some really nice chicken breasts and chicken thighs. We're going to pour the Stubbs barbecue sauce over them. And we're going to actually want to rub it in. You want to actually cover them with the barbecue sauce. And we're going to let those sit for, a couple hours in the refrigerator so they kind of marinate. And what we're going to do is we're going to cook these chicken breasts and chicken thighs in hot oil and then finish them in an oven. Okay, so now that we've got the chicken in the hot oil, we're going to cook them for maybe 3 to 4 minutes on each side, or until they start to brown. While we're doing this, we're also going to preheat the oven to 375 degrees. Once the chickens are cooked up on the top of the stove for 3 to 4 minutes on each side, we're going to finish them in the hot oven. So basically we have 2 ingredients so far. We've got the chicken and the Stubbs barbecue base. We've got the chicken breasts and chicken thighs which have been cooked in the hot oil and the rub. Now that they're done, we've cooked them on the outside. See how crispy they get? We're going to transfer them to a casserole dish. Then what we're going to do is we're going to actually take the Stubbs barbecue base. Boy, that stuff looks good. We're going to baste them again before they go in the oven. We're going to put the basted barbecued chicken thighs and breasts into the oven for probably 20-25 minutes, or until the chicken's cooked all the way through. So here they go into the oven. All right, we'll pull them out in about 20 minutes, and then we'll actually top them with the chipotle and corn salsa and serve them maybe with some mashed potatoes or some good corn tortillas. We've had the chicken in the oven for 15-20 minutes at 375 degrees. I'm gonna pull it out, put the final touches on, and we've got the chicken breasts, which we slathered down with the Stubbs barbecue sauce. We're gonna put them on a plate. I'm going to top them with a little bit of Mrs. Renfro's chipotle and corn salsa. Put a little salt on it. And a little pepper. And we're done. Our next recipe in Meals from Minutes is a marinated pork tenderloin. We're going to marinate it with the hot and spicy Allegra marinade, and then we're going to make a peach barbecue sauce to put on top of it with some Stubbs barbecue and some peach Smucker's jam. So really easy to do. The first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to marinate the pork tenderloins with the Allegra marinade. But while they're marinating, you can make this sauce, and this sauce is also real easy to make. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with some Stubbs pork marinade. I'm going to pour that in a bowl, and then I'm going to add some Smucker's peach jam, or peach preserves, and I'm going to add a little bit of honey to this. And the honey will also help the barbecue sauce stick to the meat. We've had our meat marinating for, say, no less than 4 hours, no more than 6 hours. Next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to season the meat with the peach barbecue sauce. So we're going to pull it out of the rub, put it in a casserole dish or on a baking sheet, and then we're going to pour the rub that we made over it, and then just turn it in the rub. While you're pulling the tenderloin out of the marinade and seasoning, you also want to heat a pan with some oil, and we're going to heat the oil until it starts to smoke. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cook these tenderloins in the hot oil. And while you're cooking these in the pan, the last step is to preheat an oven to 375 degrees, because once we've cooked these steaks on the hot oil and kind of seared them, we're going to finish them in the oven. Okay, now we've got the pork tenderloin that's been marinated in the Allegra. We've brushed it with the peach barbecue glaze, and we've cooked it for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side in the hot oil. I'm going to transfer them to a roasting pan. Look at that color. And remember, we've got the oil, we've got the oven preheated to 375 degrees. But I'm gonna brush the remaining barbecue glaze on top. And then we're gonna stick these in the oven and cook them at 375 degrees for about 20 minutes or until the pork's done. Okay, we've had the pork in for about 15, 20 minutes. We're gonna pull it out. Oh, look at that pork. Perfect. Put one more last coat of glaze on it. Stubbs marinade makes a difference. And then we're gonna put it on a plate and serve it. And there's quick, easy pork tenderloin with barbecued peach glaze. Okay, our next recipe for 4 easy meals in minutes is one of my favorites. It's Texas Frito pie. And what it is we've got, I'm gonna use my favorite brand of chili, which is Bear Creek. We've got some Fritos. We're gonna put some good rich sour cream on top of it, some fresh vegetables, kind of let people build their own. So the first thing we gotta do is we've got the chili done, the chili's heated on the stove. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna build the Frito pie. And these things you can do ahead of time. You can have the diced onions done ahead of time, the diced tomatoes, the diced onions, the chopped up cilantro, the jalapenos. And if you want to use my favorite habanero peppers or Mozzetta habanero peppers to really spice up this Frito pie. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the Fritos on the plate or in the bowl. And you can put the Fritos on top or you can put the Fritos on the bottom, either way. I like them on top, or on the bottom. Then we're going to put the Bear Creek chili on top of the Fritos. Chili's so good, you got to put a lot of it on there. And the next thing, this is how I would serve it. I'd hand it to somebody and you can go through the line and let people build their own. So I'm gonna put a little green onions, maybe some tomatoes, some diced red onions, a few jalapenos, some Borden sour cream, actually a lot of Borden sour cream. And we got some Borden cheese. Cheese, here we go. Almost forgot about the cheese. Gotta have some cheese, and last but not least. So I've got cheese grated on top, and last but not least, the ingredient is the habanero pepper. And there's the Frito pie.